Oh, geez. Am I already freaking live? I think I am. I've been live for 20 seconds. Oh my God. This is inconceivable. Uh, let's see. So we got, am I mic'd? Am I decent? I'm a little bit higher up in frame than I was before. I decided to angle the camera down slightly so that you could see my name tag better, because like the problem was I was like, no matter where, like the fluctuation, like I would often find myself leaning forward like this to interact with the keyboard and mouse, and as you can see, even with the angle down, it's getting rather close to the bottom of the screen and thus being cut off and not visible. So I felt cutting off the top of my head ever so slightly on occasion is acceptable, because this is supposed to be like a little tiny window, right? Like a picture in picture, not like a floating head. Now, if I was like a floating head, I wouldn't want my head to ever get cut off, because that would be like weird. But this has edges. I shouldn't feel weird about like cutting into the edge of the top of the little window. But I want to try and figure out face tracking, and then I'll just like zoom out for like a wider field of view, and then like have the OBS crop in to just my face and track around with me. That would be cool, but they say that it takes a lot of CPU power, and that might not be cool, because sometimes I leave all of this stuff running and just go off and do other things, and I might not want to be burning my CPU for the camera to be like, where's the face? And there's no face because nobody's here. But anyways, we're playing Titanium Court by A.P. Thompson. He has other games. I have not played his other games. If I like this one, which I think I do, because I saw Northern Lion play this, and I found myself yelling at the screen saying, no, do this, do that. So much, in fact, that it is only appropriate that I play the game as well. It's just a demo. It's not the full game. But that's cool, because that means it didn't cost me anything. I was been like, I want to play a game that really pushes this new computer to the limit. We're doing this instead. I've at least wanted to use it. Like, I've pretty much not really played any games on this gaming computer since getting it. And that is a grave tragedy. Very tragic. Anyways, so I've kind of already played with the audio a bit, looking at the microphone, or looking at the things that you can't see. Why am I gesturing at the invisible? The bars that go up and down with audio, I don't like the level indicators. I'm watching those, and I kind of adjusted audio already, but like I don't want to really overdo it, so I'm gonna go on the safe side and like. All right. Options. Wasn't I just in options? I was in options. Full screen, yes, yes, yes. Accessibility controllers. I don't have a controller hooked up. As far as I understand, this is like mostly like a match 3 type of interface, and I don't think a controller would necessarily be the best option for that. Now we're off. Sorry, my computer speakers shut off when they aren't playing audio for a while, and it is very annoying. I wish they could just stay on all the time. Play the game. Start a new game. Yes, please begin. A man steps onto stage and taps a microphone. I won't do that. I almost did. A man steps on the stage and taps a microphone. Good evening. Before we begin the game, there are a few announcements. First, due to unexpected circumstance, the part of the player will be performed by an understudy. That's me. A couple of audible groans and one muffled boo erupt from the audience. Boo! Now, there's no need for that. This kid may not be a star yet, but I've seen her rehearse and I can guarantee that she'll impress you. She may not have had time to memorize any of her lines, but well, neither have any of you. That's actually, this is good. Second, we'd like to warn you that this production features a significant amount of obscenity. I'll try to avoid that. But before all the parents in the audience begin covering their children's ears, know this. This stage is enchanted, such that the obscenities can only be heard by those of sufficient emotional maturity to handle hearing them. And, finally, the writing room would like to issue an apology for failing to complete the script before this performance. They are working on it as I speak, so it is my pleasure to announce that tonight's performance is also a race. Who will win? The writer is furiously working to finish the script, or the performers attempting to perform it? I can't answer that question, but I can announce that the race begins now. Woo! We hope you enjoy the game. Where should you start? Do I actually have to choose, or is this a forced tutorial where I have to go where they tell me? You are walking through the woods when the world around you shattered. This was both alarming and inconvenient. Isolated on a lone stretch of ground, you were transfixed as the broken landscape began to rearrange itself. No! That was a bad move. Your eyes followed trees and hills, collapsing in lines of 3, as if the forest you knew were a knot becoming carefully untangled. Okay. I had to think through that line a bit. Slow processing speed. Oh wait, I gotta fix those, flip those. Do I have to go that way or can I go this way? You dared not move from your position as the ground beneath your feet quivered in anticipation of shattering further. Oh, I'm right. Okay, I'm down here. You passed the time this way for who knows how long. Until the quartz slid into view. At first you weren't sure you could trust your eyes. But there it was, a great, shining structure among the roiling landscape. Something stable and enclosed, a shelter. You kept your eyes on it, hoping it would draw close enough that you might peer inside its windows. Surprisingly, the court appeared able to move freely through the broken landscape, disregarding lines of 3 as it approached your position. Okay, what? Do I move? What do I do? Oh. Ah, and I'm nestled perfectly within blocks. And just as it came near, the shattered landscape lurched. I don't have the reading comprehension for this game. But we'll learn. Well, with little warning, the forest snapped back together as if someone had pulled the knot of reality tight once again. Except, by now it wasn't the forest you knew. It was hardly even a forest. You stood stretched and began the hike towards the court. Later, while the sun hovered low over the horizon, there was a feast within the walls of the court. Hoping to avoid any attention, you sought out a more isolated part of the hall. Do I actually move the character around at all? Or do they... An empty table near an exit where no one would pay you much mind. A sound plan, except... The hall was soon overflowing with an introvert's worst nightmare. People, and your table was no exception. The young man seated to your right began engaging you in idle conversation. The weather, how you found the meal, the role of the individual in a society, how you preferred to make your bed, those sorts of subjects. Eventually, he inquired about how you came to arrive at the court. Which answers my question quite thoroughly, while raising many more, he says as you conclude your tale. But, forgive me, you haven't actually finished your story, have you? You admit there is a bit more, though you have yet to make sense of it. The people within the court were earnest but odd. They're all fairies, right? Like that's what this is. It's like a court of fairies, something like that. After your arrival, you attempted to get some answers about your whereabouts and the strange circumstances outside, except they spoke mostly in riddles and nonsense, didn't they? They did. Let's find out where you are. What do I... A man resting in the shade of the wall. Whoa, pal. Before you ask me any more questions, you gotta know my deal. My deal is that I can only answer questions you haven't asked. So as to where we are, no, can do. Sorry, can't tell you. But what are we doing? Oh man, we're a court of fairies. Yes, I remembered correctly. On a quest to find our missing queen. He looked to both sides, then said, so let me know if you see her. Just don't ask me where she is. Next, you... Hold on. Are you seriously going to tell me about every individual conversation you had in excruciating detail? I don't know. Yes? Maybe? Yes, you are, because if he lets you proceed uninterrupted, he'll learn that many of these people played a part in what happened next. Fine, fine. Let's find out where you are. A woman in a helmet doing her taxes at a picnic table? I would love to tell you where we are, friend, but I haven't even figured out where we aren't. She gestured at a stack of maps on the table behind her. We're not in any of those places. Or at least we weren't. Who knows if that's true now that the tide has come in? You attempted another tactic, hoping to glean some information. Perhaps she could at least tell you the name of this place. Oh, we just call it the court. Its full name is the Court of... I forget. Something like the Court of Aluminum, but it starts with a T. The Court of Tungsten? I don't know, maybe. I'm new here and I'm bad with names, but at least I can give you mine. I'm Robin. She held out her hand, which you shook as you introduced yourself. Now, if you'll excuse me, I should try to sort this out before the tide settles in. Let's find out where you are. So I talked to Tax Girl, and I talked to weird old guy who doesn't answer questions that I've asked, only ones I haven't asked. Unhelpful. A pair in front of a blackboard discussing magic. Let's go peep in on Chris Angel's Mind Freak. There appeared to be a seminar of some sort taking place in the courtyard. A seminar on magic, if you understood the text on the blackboard correctly. So, okay, first you take a metaphor and then you stretch it really thin, right? Right? Like, really thin. So thin you forget its original purpose. Then you inflate it. Right, just inflate the metaphor. I don't know the tone of these people. I don't know if I'm getting this right. I think I'm inferring from the colors of the text. Is that what I should be doing? Maybe. Like, really thin. So thin you forget its original purpose. Then you inflate it. Right, just inflate the metaphor. I prefer to use my lungs for that. Then as it's inflating, you twist it like, hang on, like so. You still following? I think so. And hold on. And hold on. Ta-da! There! It now resembles a dog, a delight for children and such. Ah, okay, so what happened to the metaphor? It's a lovely little balloon. It's a lovely little balloon dog now. I see, I see. They seemed a bit busy, so you left them to it. And knew what? Oh, there's a, what is that, a cat? It is a cat. Jeez, could have been a dog. A small cat bathing in the sun atop the walls. Aw, he's pink. Timber! Timber, come here! Come look at the pink cat! He doesn't care. Said a small cat. Meow. Meow. Aw, your questions are numerous, but inconsequential, for they miss the current crisis. What? Oh my god, I need something to drink. I'll be right back. We're sipping on Baja Blast now, guys and gals and indescripts. It's probably not a safe place to put it, but I don't want to put it near electronics. Said a small cat, meow. Ah, your questions are numerous but inconsequential, for they miss the current crisis. I don't know how to parse this statement. I should keep going. Meow. What crisis? Why, the crisis wherein my dinner is late. So is this what the cat's saying? Can I go back? Yes, I can. Okay. Small cat bathing in the sun atop the walls. Talk. Said a small cat, meow. Ah, your questions are numerous but inconsequential, for they miss the current crisis. Okay, so the cat is talking and they are in crisis. What crisis? Why, or what crisis? Why, the crisis wherein my dinner is late. Meow. It is so late, in fact, that I'm not certain the concept of dinner isn't something I invented in a fugue of hunger. Did I say that right? Fugue? All other societal issues are mere trivialities in comparison to my plight. Purr, please, stranger, might you fill my bowl, thus ending this ravenous standoff? A woman behind you laughed. Oh, don't listen to him. He's been fed twice already. Typical cat. So what now? Okay, I guess I shall venture forth into new realms unexplored. What did the outside of the court look like from atop the walls? Look. Finding no immediate answers inside the court, you moved to the top of the walls and looked outward. Perhaps there was something you could see from this vantage that would shed more light on your situation. Excuse me. Baja burps. Oh my God, I just realized that my can is probably like getting like transparentized, isn't it? Because it's like mostly green. Is it aesthetic? I can kind of see it in the little preview on the dinky old monitor that I'm using as like an OBS screen, so that I can see myself, see where things are. Like, I should actually move my camera a bit. I think that's a good place for it. I don't think it's really interfering with anything at the moment. Not that any of the text or like numbers or any of that is relevant yet. But it will be. Actually, a good place for my can would be right below the dinky monitor, because what I've done is taken two crates and stacked them side by side and zip tied them together to create a kind of little shelf thingamajig. And I mean, ain't nothing underneath it except for power cords, so if it spills, okay, probably not there. Actually, I'll just move the power cords, because then if it falls, it's just getting on a rug. Okay, I've moved the power cords, so now if it tips, nothing will really happen. Oh, maybe. Perhaps there was something you could see from this vantage that would shed more light on your situation. Perhaps. What was said before this? What did the outside of the court look like from atop the walls? Finding no immediate answers inside the court, you moved. Oh my God, I am a terrible performer. Ugh, I have to keep asking for my lines. Finding no immediate answers inside the court, you moved to the top of the walls and looked outward. Line. Perhaps there was something you could see. Oh yes, these are notes. These are notes from me to perform, like my motivations. Finding no immediate answers inside the court, I move to the top of the walls and look outward. I'll just look at my surroundings. Perhaps there was something you could see from this vantage that would shed more light on your situation. Nothing. To the contrary, conditions outside the walls were even stranger than they were at the time of your arrival. The rest of the shattered landscape had now melted away. The court stood alone amid a void. ... But not for long. Like a rush of water, new surroundings began to surround, as surroundings do. Much of the new topography was familiar to you. You could identify fields, water, woods, and hills. But there was something else to see. A menacing group of other courts were also part of the landscape. You were not alone in noticing these. Excuse me. Someone shouted, "The war! The war! The war is here!" Oh, this is so fitting. Now that we're at war. Ha! Someone else. That can't be. Puck said no wars until we find the queen. Then perhaps he should explain that to them. Surrounded by the enemy on all sides and bereft of an obvious course of action, the people of the court began to pray. A man stepped forward and offered the first prayer. I genuinely wish no harm upon our enemy. I merely pray they would fade into obscurity. Wow, I didn't expect that to work, but thanks. The woman named Robin offered the next prayer. My notes are quite clear on this. Prayer does not work. Our time is much better spent steering the court. Remember, their soldiers cannot cross water. We should try to take shelter behind a moat until the tide comes in. Wait a minute. That's like the opposite of what she just said to do. There, now that river protects us from nearly half of the field. I'm pretty sure, like, they can cross diagonally. It's not really a river, it's just a sequence of blocks, and, like, there's narrow paths, like, in between it that they could cross. Are you daft? Or are you just looking at a different map than me? There, now that river protects us from nearly half of the field. Hills should also slow their advance. So for my next prayer, but the next prayer did not belong to Robin. The next prayer belonged to the cat. So long as we were making demands of God, then my wish, as ever, is to be fed. Hey. I feel like these are terrible moves. Why is half the demo a tutorial? At least when the actual game comes out, I'll know how to play it, right? Psych, there's gonna be a tutorial on that too, probably. Hey, You probably didn't notice, but something just happened over here. What happened is, by matching fields, the court has just acquired more food. Similarly, other parts of the battlefield can be matched to earn water, wood, or metal, I'm assuming? I think it's supposed to be shiny like metal. None of those fairies in the court will tell you this. Their religion forbids them from acknowledging the existence of the user interface. But I am a secular tooltip. I fear no God. I will do my best to provide you with this vital information. You're welcome. Yes, more of that, please. Purr. Can I move these ones over here, or do I have to move the one they're telling me? Bad move. Yes, more of that, please. Okay, you're just gonna make me do that move anyways. I should have done it first. No, that's why it was a bad move. Damn it. Robin then bemoaned the loss of the moat, and we face even more of the enemy than before. Why must I bother? The scholars at the blackboard now chimed in. We've identified the most strategically sound location. This spot right here. If we should just steer over there carefully, we should be fine. Sitting pretty. How do I do that? But Robin interjected, stop. Look at the clock. It's almost low tide. We have time left for only one more move. Hello again. Okay, then now it's, geez. So the clock and time left Robin alludes to is, in fact, this unassuming progress bar at the edge of your vision. Much like life, every move you make will deplete some of your remaining time. If we have only one prayer left, what do you suggest we ask for? We might as well pray for a miracle. Well, that's a start. Apologies, but another explanation. From me, your humble tooltip is in order. The previous move chained multiple matches together. Because of this, you have earned some bonus time. For the fairies of the court, this might as well be a miracle. Is there any chance we could do that again? Whatever that was. Let me think. Wide moves have the highest chance of chain reactions because more stacks fall, I think. No, I don't know if that's necessarily true. But there was no such chance. The next prayer would be the last one. Incidentally, the next prayer also belonged to you. Unsure of what any of this really meant, you imitated the people around you and made a pointless decision. I'm sure there's something I could do with this move. The battlefield snapped together as the court snapped to attention. Please, everyone. Windows were shattered. Shuttered. Windows were shuttered, not shattered. Oh man, that would have been awful. Doors were slammed. Large swaths of people emerged from further inside and formed a line near the gates. Oh, man. A tap on your shoulder. One of the scholars. We could use some help in the dressing room if you have a free hand. Along with the scholars introduced to you as Hop and Skip, you sorted through a large pile of costumes, props, and weapons. Check the tag on that, would you? Make sure I put it together properly. Click and hold. Hold. Farmer, working fairy, gathers food from fields. If it looks correct, feel free to hand it out. Offensive fairy attacks the enemy. Do I just click it? Hand the bundle of farmer's apparel to the first person in line. Unperturbed by the idea of harvesting wheat in the middle of a battle, they whistled as they marched out the front gate. Now do it again. Deploy another farmer. Now see if this one fits anybody. Soldier, offensive fairy, attacks the enemy. Click to use. You handed a bundle of armor and weapons to the next person in line. You handed... You... You handed a bundle of armor and weapons to the next person in line. She tested the weight of a weapon in her hand. I haven't received any training, so I'm just planning to hit anything that doesn't belong to us. Oh. After this minimal preparation, the scholars considered their work finished. Right! Oh man, I should have combined mountains so that I could make more soldiers. I'm so dumb. Because I completely forgot how this game works. I'd place our chances of survival somewhere near abysmal, but I'm afraid this is the best we can do. A small mercy, at least, that the Queen isn't here to witness this. And so you waited with the others for the battle to commence. I must pester you one more time before I take my leave. Observe this button, the undo button. Use it to change your mind as many times as you wish before starting the battle. However, the official editorial position of this tooltip is that you are liable to lose no matter how many times you change your mind presently. When you are ready to lose, use the play button to proceed to battle. Now, I will leave you in peace. Man, I am surrounded. I am so gonna get walloped. But, should you ever desire the tooltip, company of your loyal tooltip, all you need to do is click and hold over any button or tile, and I will do my best to explain it to you. Okay, there's really nothing else I can do other than make more farmers. And that, I don't know, I think there's a, yeah. Commence battle. Yeah! Bust down that building. Whack-a-mole. Yeah! Aw. I got tackled. Okay. And then, sometime later, as the sun hovered low over the horizon, there was a feast within the walls of the court. The man to your right is beside himself with laughter. Okay, so our court, caught off guard by a sudden war, stumbled behind enemy lines, made a token attempt at resistance, and was summarily toppled. Do I have that right? Yes, that does appear to be an accurate summary. Well then, I'm certainly glad I slept through that. As you look at your surroundings, a switch flips in your mind. Your own story makes little sense now that you think of it. How did you... Your companion pats your arm. Don't worry about it. If our court wouldn't withstand physical destruction, we wouldn't last 5 minutes within the pull of the tide. But enough of that. It's about time I made some introductions. As you've narrowly avoided learning, this place is called Titanium Court. Meanwhile, I have the honor of being the steward of the court. My name is Puck, although my lovers and enemies call me Goodfellow. I am chief advisor and friend eternal to our fair queen. That's me, I think. As fancy as that sounds, in practice, it means he's unemployed. One of the scholars, the man named Hop, has approached your table. He appears to have had a drink or two, or four. He pulls up a seat between the two of you and assumes a jovial posture. Pulls up a seat between the two of you and assumes a jovial posture. Guess the queen stood us up, eh, Goodfellow? Lucky for her, I'd say. I'd skip town too if I knew what a sorry showing the court would make. But on the plus side, we can continue draining her wine cellar. Now, are you going to help me with that, Goodfellow, or are you just going to stare at me? I don't mind either way. Puck, staring at the scholar, a mouth agape, slowly inhales and pinches his nose. What fools these? How drunk are you, Hop? The queen is right here. I've been speaking to her for the entire feast. An excited hush falls over the entire hall. Hop blinks, looks at you, looks at Puck, turns bright red. Oh, I see it now. That calls for Her Majesty's finest vintage. I'll be right back. As Hop makes a quick exit, you look suddenly at Puck and shake your head. There's no use denying it now, not after the tale you told me. If you'd like more proof, just take a look at where you're seated. You slowly take in your surroundings. Dang, that's a lot of bread. Puck smiles. Now, if I may conclude by my introductions, let me introduce the court to your majesty, and likewise. He stands up and addresses the entire hall as he says, long absence, the queen of Titanium Court, always a stranger, has arrived. Cheers erupt and dessert is served. To your left, Hop returned with an armful of glasses and bottles. And about time, too. Good fellow. Did you hear... Good fellow. Did you tell her about the war yet? Titanium Court. Chapter 1. A place beloved only of clowns and criminals. And then... just a short while after the feast, the court returns to war. That's what? 40-minute long tutorial, and I think I'm still semi in the tutorial. You're in charge of the war now, Your Majesty. You should be fine. Just remember everything we've taught you about magical warfare. Blinking slowly, you remind them that at this exact moment, they have taught you roughly nothing about magical warfare. Ah, good. She remembers quite clearly. High tide. While the field is broken, arrange it to your advantage. Consult the ever-changing map. Look. So that, what's that do? That's just the log. You don't know what any of this means. Literally, I don't. I don't. Okay. Okay, so let's see about getting rid of some of these. I've got a little bit of food and a little bit of water. I think if they don't have the little guys, what's this? A seat announcing new beginnings, the soapbox of the natural world. I need more metal. Okay. And I need I need food. I need water. And I think all of these buildings aren't really threats. They're just kind of taking up resources space. I don't think I get anything from destroying them here. But water, no. Oh, I got another move. All right. Oh, I still got another move. And the music just restarted. Let's see. Oh, double. All right. Low tide. Make preparations for the coming battle. So there's no enemy soldiers, but I still want to be able to destroy some castles. So I'll make one of them. Is there any fields nearby? Yeah, I can get to a field. So I'll make a farmer. I think that's good. Commence the battle, yes. Hell yeah. Probably should have made more soldiers. Well, having now achieved some kind of victory in the war, you wonder if someone in the court might help you return home. It would be our pleasure if you can show us the way. Timber, come here. Come on. Come on. Come within arm's reach of me. See what happens. Come on. Timber, come say hi to the world. Timber. You're so cute and adorable. They'll love you. Come on. Come on. They're just going to think I'm insane and talking to a wall. ... Wait, where am I? Having now achieved some kind of victory, it would be our pleasure if you can show us the way. Oh. Also, that was only one battle. There are many more to come if my notes are to be trusted. ... Okay, well, if you understand this map correctly, if it even is a map, there appears to be some sort of signage just ahead. Perhaps if you can reach those signs, you'll learn more about where you actually are, along with how to get home. And to reach them, we need merely be swept forward by the tide as we have been all along. Convenient. Okay, so there's a lot more soldiers this time. Now I need to worry about getting rid of castles. I don't really need to make all that much metal because I've already got 3. Inspect your avail. Wood. I need wood. Storage unit. It looks a lot like one you've rented in the past. Okay. Neutral move. So I need more wood. But I don't need... I need more wood. So... that was a bad move. All right. Make preparations for the coming battle. Take a look inside the storage unit. Open. You are quite curious about what you might find inside the storage unit, but it's locked. No. Okay, so I might as well. Okay, I'll make 2 soldiers. Actually, I don't know if I should make 2 soldiers or only 1 because there's only 2 castles. But I think the time it'll take for one of them to get to the other one, I'll just make 2. And oh yeah, that takes food. So I'll make a couple. I'll use half my water. Commence battle. No, go up. Up. Come on. Hurry. Woo! Come here, Timber, come on! Come on, come on, come on. Oh. This is Timber. He's not impressed. High tide. While the field is broken, arrange it to... Come on. Come on. Attack my hand. While the field is broken, arrange it to your advantage. Didn't I already do that? Oh, that battle's over. I got distracted by the cat. I forget. I don't know which way to make it. I don't know. I guess that's... Well, the field is broken. Arrange it to your advantage. Okay, so let's... get rid of them. Hell yeah. I need more water. I could use more metal, I guess. Wait, that's blocking them. Paradolic pumpkin. Paradolic pumpkin, that means it's got a face. A plant possessing a friendly false face. So the question I have is it like a jack-o'-lantern, or is it like a pumpkin that grows with like the shape of a face? Like in its ridges, you know what I mean? I guess logically if it's a paradolic pumpkin, that would mean that it wasn't carved. Because if you had carved it to have a face, then it wouldn't be pareidolia to see a face in it. But if the face was naturally occurring by the growth of the plant, then it would be pareidolia recognizing it, since the plant would have just happened upon that face, like perhaps evolutionarily. I don't know. But it's not really a face, it just looks like a face. Whereas if you carve a face, then it's a face. Kind of like, is it really pareidolia if it's like the face on the back of a car when like, you know that's part of the design, like, philosophy. Hell yeah. Got a lot of enemies though. But I can make... I'm gonna just like max out the soldiers for this one. And there's a field right there and another one there, so I'll make 2 farmers. Yeah, whack 'em. I might have overdone it. Yeah, good, they split up. Nice, back him up. Hurry up, get to the forest. Yeah, get the pumpkin. I don't know what the pumpkin does. Man. A menacing bird cage suddenly appears in front of the court. How long have I been streaming? 1 hour. A menacing bird cage suddenly appears in front of the court. Your Majesty, I have notes on this foe. Let me know if you'd like to see them. High tide. While the field is broken arranged... Why do I keep reading that? Okay, what's this? New. Wait, aren't some of those enemy courts empty? You've noticed a subtle difference between some of the enemy courts on the battlefield. While many enemy courts have soldiers prominently stationed outside their gates, there are also plenty of them that appear to be completely empty. You think you can maybe assume that these empty will not attack the court during the coming battle. Yes, you can assume that. Additionally, you can see when enemy soldiers will attack the court over here on the timeline. Even soldiers might be no threat if you can deal with their courts before they attack. Robin has notes on how the bird cage behaves in battle. Right, here's what my notes say. First, at the start of low tide, the bird cage will flood its surroundings with water. Following that, the bird cage will attack the court with birds. Fighting it may prove tricky. If it's always surrounded by water, the court soldiers will be unable to reach it. You agree. You wonder if there's another approach the court could take. Either way, you thank Robin for the information. My head is getting sore from this headphones. It's kind of like cushioning now. But now, like, now the ponytail is pulling on my hair, and that hurts too. I think I need to get, like, I don't know. So the birdcage floods around it and attacks with birds. So I need metal because I used up all of my supplies in the last battle. So I need metal and I need wood. Nice. Any more? So like I don't want to get rid of this guy here. Because he's got a box. But I don't know if I can even reach that box. Maybe. Maybe. Nope. As low tide begins, the birdcage surrounds itself with a moat. Low tide preparations for battle. New. Gather all manner of trinkets, treasures, and trifles and toys. Selection of goods are good for the taking. Basic income, working job. Receive a 2 money paycheck at the start of each low tide. Bird, offensive winged fairy, unhindered by terrain. Takes 3 food and 1 log. Instantly gain plus 10 food. I don't need that. Gunboat, offensive. No, because that requires having the terrain. I'll take it. Get it. Get it. Get it. Acquisition provides a brief surge of satisfaction. These chests are empty. It is now. Oh, that's alright because there was multiple chests. Nice. I don't know why I thought I had to choose. Okay, low tide. Make preparations for battle or whatever. What is it? Robin has notes on how the birdcage. No, I know how the birdcage attacks. So I can't really. I don't have access to waterways, so I can't really make any gunboats. But I have birds. I can make birds. I feel like the birds would probably be more handy in this. How many birds can I make? Because she's got a birdcage has got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 birds. So I think I should have that many birds. So I have as many birds as the birdcage. And then I'm also gonna make 2 knights. And I got a lot of fields nearby, so I'm gonna make 6. Go. Commence battle. Hell yeah. Having escaped the birdcage, the court now arrives at its initial destination. Taking a spyglass to the top of the walls, you see if the sign ahead can give you any clues or directions. Taking a spyglass to the top of the walls, you see if the sign ahead can give you any clues or directions. Dead end. Oh, I know this one. This is a memento mori. I hear they are popular among mortals. This one is quite simple, perhaps even unrefined. It says dead end. So any mortal who reads it can remember exactly what awaits them at the end. In case they forgot? Precisely. Okay, well, where you're from, this sign generally means that you cannot proceed any further. As you say this, a gasp. Her Majesty is right. The court is not facing forward. We've been letting the tide carry us backwards ever since the feast. Okay. Well, in that case, how should you go about correcting that misalignment? The cat responds to this question by falling asleep on your lap. The beast is right. A good night's sleep should return the court to its default state. And so the court decides to retire early for the day. With time and repetition comes comfort. You feel your maximum level of comfort increase to 1. Okay. If I quit to menu, will I lose my progress? 5 minutes and 34 seconds ago. No. So wait a minute. Resume. When do I know that it saves? Okay. Last saved 6 seconds ago. All right. So I'm going to call this quits for the day. I feel like that was enough for my psyche to handle. If you have watched, or if you watch this in the future, thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed me playing this game. Hasta la pasta.